Hey, crime connoisseurs. If you're like me, you love diving into a good book. I especially love finding a book about cases we cover. But sometimes it's hard to find the time to sit and read. We live in an on-the-go society. Thankfully, Audible makes it easy to instantly access the books we love without sacrificing our time. With over 180,000 audiobooks and more, you will undoubtedly find one that will grip you and leave you not wanting to pull away while still being able to do other things. You can get a free 30-day trial membership by going to audibletrial.com/ccpod to start listening to your favorite books. That's audibletrial.com/ccpod for your free 30-day trial membership. Welcome back, crime connoisseurs. I'm your host, Grace D. In the last case, we covered the tragic tales of Dee Dee and Gypsy Blanchard in 3 parts. This week, we'll be covering a case that many will find intriguing, and it is going to be 2 parts. But before we begin, I want to let everyone know that there are topics that may be triggering for some. The topics of sexual abuse of a child and suicide will be covered. The topic of suicide will be covered in part 2, just so you all are aware. Aaron Hernandez was a name that once inspired cheers and admiration. A tight end for the New England Patriots, he had all the makings of an NFL legend. But behind the touchdowns and the limelight is a story so dark it shocked even the most seasoned crime enthusiasts. A rising star in the football world, he had it all: fame, fortune, and a promising career ahead of him. But a sinister secret lurked in the shadows behind the glitz and glamour. In 2013, Aaron Hernandez was arrested and charged with the murder of Odin Lloyd, a semi-professional football player and friend. As the trial unfolded, shocking revelations emerged, painting a chilling picture of a man consumed by violence and plagued by a troubled past. But the story doesn't end there. Aaron Hernandez's life took an even darker turn when he was implicated in 2 additional murders, leaving the world stunned and questioning how someone with so much could descend into such darkness. In this case, we'll dive deep into the evidence, the trial, and the aftermath as we attempt to unravel the truth behind Aaron Hernandez. Join me as we explore the mind of a killer, the impact on the victims' families, and the ripple effects felt throughout the sports world. We'll examine the factors that contributed to Aaron Hernandez's downfall and question whether there were warning signs that went unnoticed. Is there a link between brain damage and violence, and in particular, murder? This is the case of Aaron Hernandez. Dennis Hernandez and Terry Valentine Hernandez married in 1986. On May 18, 1986, the couple welcomed their first son, Dennis Jonathan Jr., aka DJ. 3 years later, they had another son, whose name is widely known across the nation, if not the world. Aaron Hernandez was born in Bristol, Connecticut on November 6, 1989. Terry would throw Dennis out of the house multiple times, but always let him back in. The couple married in 1986, divorced in 1991, and remarried in 1996. In 1991, they filed for bankruptcy. There was constant fighting going on in the home. According to the Boston Globe, his father, Dennis, a former janitor who was nicknamed the King, wanted nothing more than for his sons to reach athletic stardom. Dennis Hernandez pushed his sons to outperform, particularly with sports, but he was often abusive towards both of the boys and their mother. The beatings Aaron's father gave him and DJ were sometimes for no reason at all or were alcohol-related, but often came when their father believed that they were not trying hard enough in school or athletics. DJ said in an interview, quote, "I picked up the phone once to call to seek help, and his response was, 'Call them.' And he handed me the phone and he said, 'I'm going to beat you even harder, you and your brother, and they're going to have to pull me off of you when they knock down the door.'" End quote. DJ and Aaron lived in endless fear of their father, but they respected him too. One day, Aaron came to school with a bruise around his eye, and his coach believed that the black eye was from his father hitting him. Dennis once punched Aaron's youth football coach after an argument about coaching methods. Trigger warning. Topic of sexual abuse of a child is about to be covered. According to DJ, Aaron was sexually molested as a child. A teenage boy at his babysitter's house forced Aaron to perform oral sex on him, beginning when Aaron was around 6 years old and continued on for several years. Aaron attended Bristol Central High School, where he played for the Bristol Rams football team. He was also an exceptional basketball player and track runner. Aaron started as a wide receiver before becoming a tight end, and he also played as a defensive end. Dennis had some run-ins with the police, but turned his life around to become a better father and citizen. However, on January 6, 2006, when Aaron was 16 years old, Dennis died from complications during a hernia surgery. Those closest to him said that the 16-year-old never got over his father's death, despite the abuse he'd suffered at his hands. Nevertheless, Dennis got his wish and did leave behind a son who excelled at football, but one who was also emotionally and psychologically damaged due to years of abuse of him, his brother, and his mother. It was after his father's death that Aaron started to turn toward a life of violence and crime. According to Terry, Aaron was heavily affected by Dennis's death, and he acted out his grief by rebelling against authority figures. Those who knew Aaron said he never got over the loss of his dad. Aaron became estranged from Terry and moved in with his older cousin, Tanya Singleton. Following Dennis's death, the family learned that Terry Hernandez and Tanya's husband, Jeff Cummings, had been having an affair. After the affair became public, Tanya and Jeff divorced, and Jeff moved in with Terry. This situation infuriated Aaron. While living with Tanya, Aaron became more involved in criminal activity. Later in 2006, Aaron's troubles got worse when he suffered his first serious injury of his football career. Lori Belmont, a nurse who watched it all unfold from the stands, said, quote, "I saw him get hit and I saw him go down, and he did not get back up. He must have been totally out of it because they called the ambulance that was standing by, and so the EMTs immediately came up on the field and got him and took him." End quote. At the time, the neurological link between collisions on the football field and chronic traumatic encephalopathy, CTE, had yet gained the widespread acceptance that it has today. And while Aaron seemed to recover from his injury and went back to playing the game he loved, it now appears that hits like this likely began to change him at a fundamental level. Despite his traumatic childhood, and primarily because of his football success. Aaron was a popular student at Bristol Central High School, where he began dating his future fiancée, Cheyenne Jenkins. The two had known each other since elementary school, but he also started smoking marijuana heavily before school, practices, and games. In addition to the pot, his social life included copious amounts of alcohol. And though the University of Florida soon recruited the rising football star, his drug use and budding criminal exploits kept putting black marks on his record. Aaron received a football scholarship from the University of Connecticut, the school his father had attended and the one his brother also chose to attend. However, he was won over by the University of Florida and its legendary coach, Urban Meyer. According to Scout.com, Aaron was considered the top tight end recruit in 2007. Aaron was offered to play college football at 5 schools. At first, Aaron was going to play at the University of Connecticut with his brother DJ. However, he later chose to play for the University of Florida under head coach Meyer. Coach Meyer flew to Connecticut and convinced Aaron's principal to allow him to graduate more than a semester early. This allowed Aaron to move to Florida, join the team, and learn the playbook shortly before his 17th birthday. His athletic gifts were obvious, but the person behind those gifts was an angry teenager struggling with an abusive upbringing and a growing dependence on drugs. Steve Adazio, a Connecticut native, and Florida quarterback Tim Tebow assisted Coach Meyer in recruiting Aaron. Adazio and Meyer told Aaron that they believed he had the potential to play in the National Football League, the NFL. Aaron's principal later said that the two were persuasive and heavily pressured Aaron, but in retrospect, it was a mistake to allow him to graduate early. As a senior, Aaron was Connecticut's Gatorade Football Player of the Year after making 67 receptions for 1,807 yards and 24 touchdowns on offense, and 72 tackles, 12 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, 2 fumble recoveries, and 4 blocked kicks on defense. He was also a U.S. Army All-American. The 1,807 receiving yards and 24 touchdowns were state records. Aaron's 31 career touchdowns tied the state record. He also set the state record for receiving yards in a single game with 376 yards, the 7th best in national high school history. And he set a national high school record for yards receiving per game with 180.7. Aaron was not academically prepared for college and had to take remedial courses at Santa Fe Community College. He wasn't the only one, though. Many of his teammates, whom Coach Meyer convinced to come to Gainesville early, also did. Aaron arrived at the University of Florida in January 2007 and quickly became the best tight end on the team. He also ramped up his drug use, neglected his academic coursework, and grew even more unhinged. On April 28, 2007, according to a police report in Gainesville, Florida, the then 17-year-old Aaron Hernandez was with teammate quarterback Tim Tebow at the Swamp. Aaron had 2 alcoholic drinks in the restaurant, refused to pay the bill, and was escorted out by a restaurant employee. As the manager, Michael Taphorn, walked away, Aaron sucker punched him on the side of the head, rupturing his eardrum. The police responded at 1:17 a.m. Aaron called Coach Urban Meyer, and Coach Meyer called Huntley Johnson, the team's unofficial defense lawyer. The restaurant manager later told police that lawyers and the team had contacted him and that a settlement was being worked out, something that the team denied. The police department recommended charging Aaron with felony battery, but the incident was settled out of court with a deferred prosecution agreement. Uncover the secrets of your dog's DNA with Wisdom Panel, the world's leading canine genetics test. With a simple cheek swab, Wisdom Panel can reveal your dog's breed, ancestry, health traits, and so much more. Understanding your dog's genetic background can help you provide the best care possible. Whether it's identifying potential health risks, understanding their behavior, or simply satisfying your curiosity about your dog's unique heritage, Wisdom Panel delivers the insights you need. Their state-of-the-art technology analyzes over 350 breeds, types, and varieties, and screens for over 200 genetic health conditions. Plus, their easy-to-understand reports make it simple to learn about your dog's genetics. Join the millions of pet parents discovering their dog's story with Wisdom Panel. Order your kit today and start exploring your dog's DNA. Because every dog has a tale, and Wisdom Panel helps you tell it. Go to wisdompanel.pxf.io/ccpod to learn more about your four-legged friend. That's wisdompanel.pxf.io/ccpod. On September 30th, 2007, Randall Carson, Justin Glass, and Corey Smith were in a car when someone approached it on foot and fired 5 shots while they were waiting at a Gainesville traffic light after having left a nightclub. Corey was shot in the back of the head, and Justin was shot in the arm. Both men survived. Randall was a backseat passenger, and he was unharmed and told the police that the shooter was a Hawaiian or Hispanic male with a large build, weighing about 230 pounds and having multiple tattoos. He picked a photo of Aaron out of a police lineup. The police told Coach Meyer's personal assistant that they wanted to see Aaron and 2 teammates immediately. Detectives kept pushing coaches to bring the players to the station, but they didn't arrive for 4 hours. In the meantime, the players spoke with Johnson, the team's unofficial defense attorney. The other players cooperated with the police, but Aaron invoked his right to counsel and refused to talk to them. When police walked into the room to speak to Aaron, the last of the players to be interviewed, they found him with his head down on the table and sleeping, a posture they said was unusual for someone in the middle of a shooting investigations. No charges were filed at that time. Between practices, games, team meetings, and other events, Aaron put 40 to 60 hours a week into football nearly year-round. As a freshman in 2007, Aaron started 3 games for the Florida Gators. He finished the season with 9 receptions for 151 yards and 2 touchdowns. Even though he excelled in his freshman year, he was benched in the season opener of his sophomore year due to a failed drug test. Following that, he started 11 of 13 games during the 2008 season and finished the season with 34 receptions for 381 yards and 5 touchdowns. In the 2009 BCS National Championship game against the Oklahoma Sooners, Aaron led the Gators in receiving yards with 57 yards on 5 receptions. The Gators defeated the Sooners 24-14 to win their second BCS championship in 3 seasons. As a junior in 2009, and after leading the team in receptions with 68 for 850 yards and 5 touchdowns, Aaron won the John Mackey Award as the nation's best tight end. He was also a first-team All-Southeastern Conference selection and was recognized as a first-team All-American by the Associated Press, College Football News, and the Sporting News. During his final game, Aaron threw the football into the stands to celebrate a touchdown. The excessive display risked a personal foul penalty, but sports writers saw an athlete with little to lose personality if he chose to go into the NFL instead of returning for another year of college football. Aaron later said that he was high on drugs every time he took the field. Coach Meyer had wanted to remove him from the team for his chronic marijuana use, but relented after an appeal from Tebow. However, after Aaron's junior year, Coach Meyer told them that he would not be welcomed back for a fourth year and would have to try to get picked up by a professional team in the 2010 NFL Draft. Aaron finished his college career with 111 receptions for 1,382 yards and 12 touchdowns. According to teammate Ahmed Black, Aaron always tried to be the life of the party. Aaron was majoring in sociology, and some of the classes during his first year included bowling, theater appreciation, wildlife issues, and 2 herbology classes. He made the conference honor roll during his sophomore year, but as a junior got a D in a class on poverty and did not complete his second attempt at an introductory statistics class. Coach Meyer later said that he found Aaron to be a distressed person when he arrived on campus and tried to guide him in the right direction. Florida coaches aligned Aaron with Marquise and Mike Pouncey. He grew close to the twins after rooming with them, and staff considered the Pounceys to be a positive influence on Aaron. On January 6, 2010, on the 4th anniversary of his father's passing, Aaron announced his decision to forego his senior year and enter the NFL Draft. He attended the NFL Scouting Combine, but could not perform any physical drills after tearing a muscle in his back during the offseason. On March 17, 2010, Aaron participated in Florida's Pro Day and performed all of the combine drills. NFL analyst Mike Mayock stated that off-the-field concerns and concerns over Aaron's physical size were causing his draft stock to plummet, but he believed that Aaron would still be drafted in the second round. After the pre-draft process, most NFL draft experts and scouts projected him as a second-round pick. Bleacher Report ranked him the 3rd best tight end prospect in the draft. Mayock ranked him the 4th best, and DraftScout.com ranked him the 5th best. During the 2010 NFL Draft, the New England Patriots selected Aaron in the 4th round, 113th overall. The previous day, the Patriots drafted Arizona tight end Rob Gronkowski. Even though he was considered a top tight end prospect, multiple teams chose not to draft him because he was a problem. Despite these concerns, the New England Patriots saw potential greatness in Aaron and drafted him in the 4th round. His rise was rapid, and soon he was a household name, a star on one of the league's most storied franchises. Aaron's draft stock plummeted due to multiple off-field issues during college, rumors of multiple failed drug tests, and character concerns. Numerous teams, including the Indianapolis Colts, Cincinnati Bengals, and Miami Dolphins, elected to remove Aaron from their draft boards entirely due to character concerns. Aaron received the lowest possible social maturity score in the pre-draft report. On April 27th, the Boston Globe reported from multiple sources that Aaron admitted to scouts and team representatives during interviews at the NFL Combine that he had a history of marijuana use and had failed numerous drug tests while in college. Later that day, the Patriots released a statement from Aaron who said he had only failed one drug test while in college and was candid about it to interested teams at the NFL Combine. He wrote a letter to every team offering to be tested every other week during his rookie season. Patriots owner Robert Kraft later said after Aaron's arrest that the Patriots drafted him after he gained their trust and said they had absolutely nothing to worry about in a letter that was sent to the Patriots director of player personnel, Nick Cassiero, before the draft. On June 8, 2010, the Patriots signed Aaron to a 4-year, $2.37 million contract with a $200,000 signing bonus. The terms of his contract limited Aaron's signing bonus to $200,000. To compensate for the smaller signing bonus, he received a contract that included a series of roster and workout bonuses up to an additional $700,000. If Aaron reached all bonuses and escalators, he could receive an annual salary comparable to a third rounder, but would have to walk a straight and narrow line to do so. Throughout training camp, Aaron competed to be a starting tight end against 3 other tight ends. Aaron had an impressive preseason alongside Rob Gronkowski. Their preseason performance would ultimately foreshadow their future success as one of the top tight end tandems in league history. Head coach Bill Belichick named Aaron the 3rd tight end on the Patriots depth chart behind Crumpler and Gronkowski. Aaron was used as the receiving tight end option. He started the 2010 season as the youngest player on any active roster in the NFL. Aaron made his professional regular season debut and first career start in the Patriots season opener against the Bengals and recorded 1 reception for 45 yards during their 38-24 victory. At 3:45 a.m. on April 30th, 2011, police responded to a fight in front of Aaron's townhouse that he rented in Plainville, Massachusetts. A high school friend had been pulled over earlier in the evening after driving Aaron home from a Boston bar. The driver was weaving in and out of lanes and traveling at 120 miles per hour in a work zone and on a highway with a speed limit of 55 miles per hour. The Massachusetts state trooper who pulled the car over did not arrest the driver because he recognized Aaron in the passenger seat. The Plainville police also recognized Aaron and told the two to go inside. During the 2011 training camp, wide receiver Chad Johnson arrived in a trade from the Bengals. Aaron immediately let Johnson, who then legally had the last name Ochocinco based on his uniform number, have the number 85, choosing to go back to his college number of 81, which was worn in 2010 by wide receiver Randy Moss, but became available after Moss was traded to the Minnesota Vikings in 2010. Chad Johnson and Aaron Hernandez both claimed no compensation was arranged and that the transaction was a kind gesture between teammates and nothing more. However, Aaron's attorney, Jose Baez, yes, the same Jose Baez who represented Casey Anthony. Jose Baez claimed Aaron saw an opportunity after the arrival of Johnson and offered the number 85 to Johnson for $75,000. Baez claimed that Johnson countered with a $50,000 offer that Aaron accepted. The money was reportedly used to finance a wholesale marijuana purchase by Aaron for his cousin's husband, T.L. Singleton, who later paid him back $120,000 for the loan. Aaron was investigated in connection with a double homicide that took place on July 16, 2012, near the Cure Lounge in Boston's South End. Daniel Diabreu, 29, and Safirio Furtado, 28, both immigrants from Cape Verde and living in Dorchester, were killed by gunshots fired into their vehicle. Witnesses testified that Aaron's silver SUV pulled up next to the victims, and someone from his car yelled racial slurs towards them. Someone from the car then fired 5 shots, killing the 2 men. Reportedly, the trouble began earlier that evening inside the nightclub when the victims accidentally spilled a drink on Aaron. Police immediately identified Aaron in the club's security camera footage, but thought it was a coincidence that he was at the club that evening, though the details of the entire incident remain murky and contested. On August 27, 2012, the Patriots signed Aaron Hernandez to a 5-year, $39.58 million contract extension, including $15.95 million guaranteed and a $12.50 million signing bonus. The $12.5 million signing bonus was the largest signing bonus ever received by an NFL tight end. His $40 million total was the second largest contract extension ever given to a tight end after his teammate Rob Gronkowski's $53 million. Hernandez gave $50,000 of that bonus to a charity named for the late wife of Patriots owner Robert Kraft. Later that day, at the Patriots Charitable Foundation kickoff gala, Robert Kraft said, quote, "One of the touching moments since I've owned the team, knowing that this is our charitable gala, Aaron came into my office a little teary-eyed and presented me with a check for $50,000 to go to the Myra Kraft Giving Back Fund. I said, Aaron, you don't have to do this. You've already got your contract. And he said, no, it makes me feel good and I want to do it." End quote. Aaron said the gesture was a way of giving back to the man and his family who had already given him so much. He said, quote, "He changed my life. Now I'm able to basically have a good chance to be set for life and have a good life. I have a daughter on the way. I have a family that I love. It's just knowing that they're going to be okay. Because I was happy playing for my $250,000, $400,000 salary, knowing that my kids and my family will be able to have a good life, go to college. It's just an honor that he did that for me. He gave me this opportunity." The $50,000 to help his foundation obviously is basically like saying thank you, and it means a lot to me. I feel a lot of respect and owe it back to him. Not only is it $50,000, because that's just the money that really doesn't mean much. With the amount given, it's more. I have a lot more to give back, and all I can do is play my heart out for them, make the right decisions, and live life as a patriot." End quote. Aaron's last NFL appearance was the 2012 AFC Championship game on January 20th, 2013, against the Baltimore Ravens. In that game, he had 9 catches for 83 yards and a touchdown in the 28-13 loss. In January 2013, Aaron and Alexander Bradley partied at Cure Again, the nightclub where the double murder took place. At 2:20 a.m., Alexander was pulled over on the Southeast Expressway after his vehicle was seen speeding at 105 miles per hour. According to the state police, he was wobbly drunk. Aaron tried to get his friend out of trouble by saying, quote, "Trooper, I'm Aaron Hernandez. It's okay." End quote. However, Alexander was still arrested for drunk driving. The following month, in February 2013, Aaron, Alexander, and several others visited a Florida strip club where they rang up a $10,000 bill. Aaron began to worry about 2 men sitting across from them, thinking they were plainclothes Boston police officers. Alexander later recalled telling Aaron that they were probably tracking the pair as part of their investigation into the double murder outside Cure. The two men had a troubled relationship at this point. Alexander claimed that on February 13, 2013, during the same trip, he woke up in a car with Aaron pointing a gun at his face. The following day, police found Alexander lying in a parking lot and bleeding from a bullet hole between his eyes. Miraculously, Alexander survived, but he lost his right eye. He did not cooperate with the police, but instead sought revenge. The pair would trade more than 500 text messages in the next 3 months, which included death threats and attempts at extortion. Alexander told Aaron he had semi-automatic weapons, bulletproof vests, and a crew that ran 6 deep. Aaron's agent tried to settle the matter quietly but was unsuccessful. Alexander demanded $5 million to keep his silence, and Aaron countered with $1.5 million. Alexander then recountered for $2.5 million, and Aaron did not respond. Instead, he went to see his lawyer. Aaron and Shayanna traveled to California with their young daughter in 2013 to have shoulder surgery. While there, Shayanna called the police twice in less than a week, claiming that Aaron was drunk and violent. In the first incident, Aaron put his hand through a window. Hermosa police were dispatched to a beach home on Linden Street at 8:16 p.m. on March 25th when Shayanna Jenkins indicated she and Aaron were fighting and he had cut his wrist on purpose. The call was later amended to indicate Aaron had not attempted suicide. Instead, his wrist was cut when he punched a window, according to the 911 call. Here, take a listen. Does your furry friend deserve the best? Of course they do. That's why there's BoxDog, a seasonal box of premium products designed just for your pooch. With BoxDog, you can spoil your pet with a fun and exciting selection of high-quality items. From gourmet treats and chew toys to comfy apparel and unique accessories, BoxDog has it all. Each box is packed with hand-selected products guaranteed to wag tails and bring joy. But BoxDog isn't just about products. It's about providing a personalized experience for your pet. You can customize each box to suit your dog's specific needs and preferences, ensuring they get what they love every time. And the best part? BoxDog delivers straight to your door, making it a convenient and hassle-free way to keep your pet pampered. So why wait? Treat your dog to the luxury they deserve with BoxDog, because every dog deserves a box full of happiness. Order your BoxDog today. Go to boxdog.pxf.io/ccpod. That's boxdog.pxf.io/ccpod.
911, may I help you? Hi, I need an ambulance immediately. Okay, what's the address? What's going on? He's losing a lot of blood. He cut himself. Okay, where did he cut himself? On his wrist. How old is he? He's 23. Did he do this on purpose? Yes. Both wrists or just one? One. Are you sending someone to someone in transit? Ma'am, I'm making up the call right now. You need to be calm. Okay, has he ever tried to do this before? No. No, this is his first time? Yes. Okay, has he ever threatened suicide or anything in the past, or no? No. Okay, so what made him do this tonight? We got into an argument. Okay. So you guys got in an argument and that's why he did it? Yes. Okay, well, if I made up the call, I have police and I have paramedics on the way, okay? Do you guys have something over the cut to put pressure on it? Yes, he has a towel. Okay. Is he having trouble breathing or anything like that, or feeling lightheaded? No. Okay. Are you his girlfriend? Yes, his fiance. You're his fiance, okay. Has anybody been drinking tonight? Yes. You guys both have, or him, or just him? No, just him. Just him? Okay. Has anybody been doing any drugs? No. Okay. You don't have any weapons or anything, do you? Was it a kitchen knife you used? No. No, it wasn't a kitchen knife, or yes? No. What did he use? He broke his arm, or he cut his wrist on the window. So did he break a window? Yes. Okay, so did he take like a piece of the window and cut his wrist with it, or did he punch the window and he did it on accident? He punched the window in. Okay, well you didn't tell me that before. You made it seem like he cut himself. Bleeding. I don't know how many. Ma'am, these are questions police and paramedics need to know when they get somewhere. Okay. All right. If you understand that you need to answer the questions. Okay. Right now, and I just can't stand the questions you're asking. Okay. Well, I'm sorry, ma'am, but these are questions on the phone and give me someone nicer. Ma'am, I'm sorry, but these are questions we have to ask. I already told you I have paramedics and I have police on the way, okay? Why are we still talking then? Because I just told you, ma'am, because these are questions they need to know. Right, but these are things they need to know before they get there.
So in the call, it's kind of hard to hear Shayana. She comes through very low while the 911 operator comes through very clear and loud because it's being recorded from that particular phone call. So in case you missed it, Shayana calls and says that there's a lot of blood. Aaron has cut himself, cut his wrist. The dispatcher's trying to gain the information to see what's going on. She informs her that she has paramedics and police en route while she's going to continue making up the 911 call. She then starts to ask Shayana different questions about what happened, how he cut it, what he used. And then Shayana becomes very aggressive and defensive. And at one point says, I can't handle the questions that you're asking me. And the dispatcher says, I need to inform the police and the paramedics for when they arrive. And she said, well, then I'll tell them when they get here. Why are we still talking? If you can't help me, then get me someone else. She was very aggressive to me, and I understand everybody reacts differently. It just was such a complete turnaround from the initial call where she sounded shocked and upset and scared to aggressive and combative. What do you guys think? Police and fire arrived on scene and assessed the situation. The incident was closed out at 8:31 p.m., reporting that the fire department checked out and gave the then 23-year-old Aaron Hernandez options for assistance and that Shayana was not making a claim of domestic violence. She said Aaron had been mad about something. On April 2nd, officers were dispatched to the home again. Officers were called this time by a neighbor who heard yelling and things being thrown around in the house. That incident was closed out at 10:55 p.m. with a report that stated the female will pack some stuff, male has left and will come back later. Aaron's brother and friends later said that there were drugs and guns in the home, but police determined that Shayana and the child were not in danger and never searched the premises. DJ found his brother alone on the roof of the building one night, looking defeated and rubbing the barrel of a gun against his face. On June 13, 2013, Alexander Bradley filed a civil lawsuit for damages against Aaron in a Florida federal court. He withdrew the suit 4 days later, allowing the two to work out a settlement without the media knowing. 4 days later, on June 17, 2013, the body of Odin Lloyd, a semi-professional football player, was found shot multiple times in an industrial park near North Attleboro, Massachusetts, sending shockwaves through the community and setting off a high-profile investigation. And this is where we're going to leave off. Be sure to tune in next week as we go over the murder of Odin Lloyd, the trial, and so much more. As we wrap up, I want to express a heartfelt appreciation to all of you, the dedicated listeners, for joining me on this gripping journey into Aaron Hernandez's life and crimes. But the story of this perplexing man is far from over. There are still unanswered questions, hidden motives, and untold secrets that demand our attention. So, my fellow truth seekers, prepare yourselves for a highly anticipated part 2. In the upcoming episode, we will delve even deeper into the complex psyche of Aaron Hernandez, exploring the events that led to his downfall and the shocking revelations that will leave you questioning everything you thought you knew. We will uncover the web of connections, the untold stories, and the chilling truth that lies beneath the surface. Please stay tuned for part 2. Together, we will peel back the layers of darkness surrounding Aaron Hernandez, shedding light on a case that captivated the nation. Remember, keep your mind open, your curiosity alive, and stay vigilant. Thank you for tuning in. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share with your friends. You can find Crime Connoisseurs wherever you listen to your podcasts, and follow us on Instagram at Crime Connoisseurs. In the meantime, keep it classy, connoisseurs, and I'll catch you on the next case. Are you tired of settling for subpar cat food? It's time to upgrade your cat's dining experience with Smalls, the ultimate gourmet meal for your feline companion. Say goodbye to generic one-size-fits-all cat food. With Smalls, you can rest assured that your furry friend is getting the nutrition they deserve. Join the thousands of cat owners who have made the switch to Smalls and see the difference it can make in your cat's health and happiness. Treat your cat to the finest dining experience with Smalls. Visit smalls.sjv.io/ccpod now to order your first box. That's smalls.sjv.io/ccpod. Choose Smalls because your cat deserves the best.